Hi, this is Mr. Matthews, and we are going to go over the forms that are needed to participate in the science fair. So remember in class, you received all these forms and put them in your science fair folder, so I'd like you to get those out right now. The first form you'll need is this checklist for adult sponsor number 1, Form 1. First thing you do is fill out your name. Put your name in. Even if you have a partner, put your partner's name here too. I want you to both fill out these forms so we can make sure that we have everything we need. It's better to fill out too many forms than too few. So both of you need to do this. Just add your name, your partner's name here. Add your project title, and then the rest is actually for me. This is what I get to fill out. All these check marks, this is my way of checking that we do everything. But if you want to read through the check marks yourself, these are some of the additional forms that you might actually have to have complete. Like if you're working with humans or animals or microorganisms, and there's some additional forms down here. Number 6, if you're working with humans, I'd have to check that and we'd have to fill out all these forms. But I will show you another form in just a minute that kind of outlines all the additional forms that you uh, might possibly have. So I'm going to scroll down here because the other important thing is that you put my name, your adult sponsor is me, this is our school's phone number, and this is my email address. So please put that on your forms. And when you turn this in, I will sign it and I will date it and I will cross off, I will do all the check marks for you. But just take a minute and fill out this form 1. Again, you will fill out your name and your partner's name. If you have a partner, you will fill out the project title. You will scroll down to the bottom and you will put my name, the school's phone number, and my email address. I'm going to go ahead and move on. If the presenter needs to pause this to give students a chance to write, they're more than welcome to do that. But moving on to Form 1A. This is the form that you need to fill out entirely. So we'll start with Form 1A, and of course put your name and or, oops, I'm going to scroll back up. Put your grade, this is grade 9. Put your email address. Put your phone number, whatever phone number you have, and then here is your team member's name. So both of you, again, if you're working with a partner, just go ahead and fill this out correctly. And then I'll put my project title again, the effect of soap concentration on seed germination. That's the project title. And then you'll fill in the school that you're participating for. T.C. Williams, Minnie Howard campus. Here's the school phone number. Here's the address. I'm going to be your adult sponsor. And here's my email address. Here gets a little bit of, a little tricky with some check marks. Go ahead and check mark yes, you do need to be pre-approved. I'll give you a little bit of time to fill in your school, your phone, your address, your name. If you are working on a continuation uh, project from the previous year, you'd click yes here. If not, you'd click no. And if you are working from the previous year, you would have to attach your abstract to the research plan along with your research plan and explain how this is a continuation, how this project is new from previous years. The actual start date and the end start date, you're going to leave blank for the time being. And then where are you going to conduct this experiment? At a university, at the school, at the field, at the home, somewhere else? Just check, mark where you believe you're going to do this experiment. Whatever you decide to choose, if it's home, you need to write wherever it is you're going to conduct the experiment. So if I'm going to conduct it at home, I put Ben's home, and I put my address, and I put my phone number. And then eventually we would get to attaching the research plan and project summary and any abstracts we would need to for any projects that are continuation. But this is just to give ICEF a little bit of information about who you are, who your partner is, the title of your project, what school you're competing with, and whether this is a continuation, and then where the project will actually take place. Scrolling down below, here's a copy of the research plan. If you want to read through that, with each individual assignment that you have for the science fair, that will satisfy the research plan. So we started off with assignment number 1 with a rationale and we start off with a topic and a rationale and, excuse me, and some references. So we're going to be putting that, what you've already done, into a different template, an actual research plan template that will cover the following: the procedures, your materials, your risk and safety, how you choose to do the data analysis, any discussion of results and conclusions, how you're going to actually do that, and your bibliography. At least 5 major references that you're going to have with your research plan. And again, I don't expect you to have this now. This is just a copy that says when we are ready to turn in all of our paperwork, we turn in all our assignments for the science fair, we're going to have all these parts of the project all finish. As I said, with the science fair, there's a lot of work up front, but once we get our paperwork done, our plan set, then it's almost half of the project is already done. And it's just you actually doing your project, collecting your data, and doing the write-up. Here's a little tidbit: if you were doing human participants and vertebrates or any hazardous agents, that's some additional paperwork that you would have to fill out and add to your research plan if you were actually going to do that. So let's not worry about that as of yet, Mr. Matthews. Myself, I will help you out with that. The next form is approval form B. And again, this has to be completed by you and your partner. All you do is type in your name. All you do is sign it. All you do is put the date, and then your parents sign it or put their name. They sign it, and they acknowledge that you are participating and that you understand the risks and possible dangers of this proposed research plan. Everything else on this sheet, the science fair chair, which is Miss Lay over the King Street campus, and the ICEF affiliate that will officially read your research plan and either approve or make changes. But we will get those recommendations back to you as soon as we can. But the most important thing is that we have Form 1 filled out. Here's Form 1. That we have Form 1A filled out. That we have Form 1B filled out. And then any other additional forms. And again, we will work with you on completing the full research plan to submit in a few weeks. If you're wondering about what additional forms you might need, here's a little checklist that I'm going to hand out in class if you don't already have it. But we all have Form 1. Or no matter what, you've been given Form 1. No matter what, you've done Form 1A. No matter what, we're going to do this whole research plan and form out Form 1B. If you don't need IRB official approval, it's just a very basic science fair project, then the only additional form you'll have to fill out is Form C, right here. If you are doing human participants, you'll also have to do Form 1C, Form 2, Form 4. Let me scroll down a bit so you can see. Let me erase these for a second. This might be even a better showing. If you're doing human participants, right here, you'll need those two forms, you'll need this form, you'll need form 7. And I'll put a link on Blackboard that you can go and get those forms. If you're doing vertebrate animals, same thing, you'll need a form 1C, you'll need a form 5A or 5B, depending on what you're doing, and you'll need a form 7. If you're working with potentially hazard biological agents, which include just about any kind of chemical, you'll need these 3 additional forms and these 2 additional forms down here. Hazardous chemicals or activities or devices that we may deem, Form 1C, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 7. So where to get these forms at? And you can either go to our link or you can actually go to, I'm going to back up a bit. If you go to just Google ICEF Science Fair Forms, it'll take you to a site that says this forms, and you can kind of scroll down and you see all these forms in order of exactly what you need. So this is how you fill out your forms. And again, just the bare minimum, what I need you to do right now is have Form 1 filled out, Form 1A, Form 1B. Any additional forms, you can look at this checklist, and you can go to the ICEF website either from Blackboard, or you can just Google it yourself, and print out and fill out these additional forms if you're working with humans or vertebrate animals or any other kind of potentially hazardous chemicals. Please let Mr. Matthews know if you need any help with anything. I will be happy to assist in finding the right forms and filling them out, getting them signed, and getting them back for approval.